Hi there, and welcome to episode 4 of this vlog season. The theme of this season, as you might have picked up, is evil spirits. And today's episode is going to be about demons and evil spirits that have featured in the news. So let's take a look. In the first instance, this radio channel reports of a person who in 2015 tried to strangle a cop. He was a 24-year-old man back in 2015, and he was grabbing a policeman with his arm around the policeman's throat and squeezed it so hard that the policeman couldn't breathe. He says that to his defense, he didn't mean to harm the policeman, but that he saw a demon that he tried to get rid of. He was feeling very remorseful, he was feeling very poorly, basically. And the defense said that he had a psychotic episode. That didn't really fly well with the courts that sentenced the man to have to pay 100,000 Swedish crowns to the policeman. Another Swedish newspaper published an article in 2014 about a man who was in his 40s who lived in a small Swedish town. He was accused of hitting a woman, and he said he did it to expel an evil spirit from her. What happened was that the man and the younger woman, they were going away somewhere in a car. The woman had first got to know the man when she was seeking spiritual counseling from him. And after that, they began a relationship. And the night they were going away in the car, they both had ingested psychedelic mushrooms. And the woman started feeling sick. And the man threw himself over her and began beating her. He said to the police that he was casting out a demon from her. And he did so by beating her up for hours and hours. He also rubbed her face in the dirt, headbutted her, and bit her on the head and her fingers. And Swedish media reported in March of 2019 how 4 men had been accused of abducting someone else. This happened in the southern parts of Sweden in the year of 2018. A 20-year-old man had been dragged into a car by someone he knew and 3 other men. And he said to the courts that he had been told by these men that they were taking him to a city nearby. The reason for this kidnapping was that the 20-year-old was to be taken to an expert in the city to drive demons out of his body. However, the 20-year-old, he only feared that he was going to be killed by the other men, because apparently he received several hits to his face and the body. He was also bound. His hands and feet were bound, and one of these kidnappers threatened to kill him or harm him if the expelling of the demons didn't work. And in a very horrifying and disturbing case of people thinking someone else is demon-possessed, we have this little girl. She was 2 years old, and she was found dead in a trash bag on a peninsula called Deer Island just outside Boston. In the beginning, no one knew who she was, so she was nicknamed Baby Doe. But after posting a drawing of her, a computer image of what she would have looked like when she was alive, that was shared about 600,000 times on Facebook, they finally realized who she was. She was Bella Bond. And her mother and her mother's boyfriend were eventually arrested in suspicion of murdering this little girl. People who visited the small family, they were disturbed by how the little girl was treated by the mother and the mother's boyfriend. Apparently, they would lock the little girl in a wardrobe for up to an hour while she was screaming, pleading for them to let her out. The mother's boyfriend told their friends that the girl was possessed by demons and therefore deserved this treatment. Eventually, the horrible treatment of the little girl escalated, and the stepdad went into Bella's room to calm her down. And when the mother came in the room, she found him leaning over the child with his hand on her stomach. Apparently, he had told the mother that Bella was possessed by demons and that it was her turn to die. And during the investigation, police found books that were about demons and demonology. When the little girl had been killed, they kept the little body in a fridge before they were able to drive out to Deer Island and dispose of it. And in the last account of demon possession that were mentioned in the newspapers, we go back to Sweden, to the town of Eskilstuna. It was 4 a.m. when a woman was woken up because she heard glass breaking. On the street, there was a man shouting that he wanted to access her home. She was scared by this, of course, and took her children and ran upstairs. Apparently, a little bit earlier that night, the man had desperately called the police and said that he was chased by demons. They couldn't find him at first, and that's when he had gone on to this woman's address to try to let himself in. When the police came, they, found out that he was intoxicated, and they took him to the police station. He had been using a wooden stick to break up to 3 windows to get into the house where the woman lived. What happened after that? I don't know. I don't know if he's still out there chasing demons or being chased by demons. I hope not. Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you liked it, and I hope you stay tuned for the next episode of the Creepy Froggy vlog. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.